Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge, and let's talk horror. Now, today I am joined not only by somebody who should have been on this channel doing this 2 years ago, but a very good friend of mine and an amazing content creator, the dude, Cody Loepke. Cody, how you doing, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. It's
Dude, no, this is such an honor for me. We've been friends for a long time, and I don't know how we've just never made this happen. But finally, I was like, fuck it. I got to get Cody on here, man. We got to figure out how this shit started for him. And before we get into that, though, Cody, I would like for the people that don't know you to get to know you a little bit. You are a retired professional wrestler, lover of all media, all movies, the good, the bad, and the not so good. But you decided to start the channel because it was just a long time coming. And what gave you the drive to finally go, you know what, I'm going to start Dude Who Loves Movies?
Man, so I've always had an interest in it, and since the pandemic, like business kind of slowed down for like filmmaking, and then once it kind of opened back up, it was harder to get like the crew I had back to doing it, and it was hard to just do that. So I was like, man, maybe I should just go. I want to try YouTube. Everyone seems to really have fun on YouTube, and I got really into YouTube during the pandemic. So I was like, man, this seems like a lot of fun, and there's a guy named Garrett from Born to Be Rad. He had a 1,000 stream, a 1K stream, and he treated it like it was like a WrestleMania. He had like run-ins and stuff like that. I was like, dude, that is so cool. I would love to be part of something like that. So I was like, I think I'm going to do it. It took me a long time to actually get started because I wanted like lighting to be perfect. I wanted sound to be perfect. I wanted the camera to be perfect, and it just was not working out. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Right.
I just did it without being perfect because it was never going to be perfect.
And all the decisions that come along with it. Like, should I wear a beanie? Should I not wear
it? yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dude, I love it. I love your channel, man. And I'm a big fan. Like I said, we've been friends for a long time. And to see you out there pumping out the content and like you said, the Rad Pack, all those dudes over at the Rad Pack, Mel, they're all fucking amazing, man. You got Ken, Justin, Garrett, like they're all just fucking amazing people. And I believe that's how you and I got hooked up, was through the Rad Pack. And I'm just super happy to make this happen. And, we talked about how you were a retired professional wrestler and how, you're a filmmaker. Do you ever plan on trying to get back into making films again, or?
Yes, I would like to. And it would be awesome if YouTube could kind of like maybe open up different opportunities that I didn't have. Cause like, I don't live in like Hollywood, which you don't really need to live in Hollywood anymore, but that used to be a big plus. So, maybe just like YouTube can help with connections and stuff like that. But I would definitely love to make movies. It's just a lot harder to do with like a skeleton crew. And that's right. It's just, it's hard.
Well, hopefully me and you can get together sometime and make something happen, dude. I would love to work with you in person too. I think that would be fucking dynamite. So,
man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't already, I do have all of the dude's social media links as well as his YouTube link down in the description. So make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're following him on social media so you can stay up to date on all the things that he has coming up in the future. Because, like I said, this is genuinely one of my favorite channels. I love watching what he does. His very first video had me literally laughing out loud at work while I was trying to put stock away and had the earbuds in listening to him. He's a genius, man. So make sure you guys are checking out his work so that way you can stay up to date on everything he has. And so you can laugh your ass off, man. He's great and he's very knowledgeable. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. So it's always an honor to see you put out a new video, man. But
thank you.
In order for you to be a YouTube content creator, to be a horror filmmaker, horror had to start for you somewhere, Cody. So I would like to go back to the past and talk about what got you started in the horror genre, your first horror movie. And Cody, your first horror movie was?
Child's Play 2.
I love the foreshadowing in the background.
So my grandma had a grocery store back in the early 90s. It was in Farwell, Michigan, a very small town. And so she would have a movie rental section in there because back in the day, they had movie rental sections in like grocery stores and stuff like that. And I was very little. And I would just walk by. I would hang out all the time in the movie section. And I would like the Child's Play 2 video or the VHS cover just had me mesmerized. And I just stared at it all the time. And I begged my mom to let me rent it. And she finally did. And it was, I was terrified, but I absolutely loved it. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, I love being scared because I know it's not going to happen to me in real life kind of thing,
And it couldn't have started with a better franchise, man. And Child's Play 2 is a lot of people's absolute favorite in this franchise because there are so many scenes in this film that stick with you. Like there's a
Mhm.
lot of great scenery in this film, but which scene would you say it was that affected you the most?
Man, so the scene where Joanne is singing to Andy at night, uh, and it's like raining outside, and like you see the camera panning down the hallway and then down the stairs, and you see like the shadows, and then in like the light that's coming in from outside from like the moonlight or whatnot, you see Chucky just standing at the bottom of the stairs, and that scared me. So it's like I wasn't afraid of the shadows, I was afraid of what's standing in that small spot of light. So it always
Right.
freaked me out because like everybody has those shadows and those lights in their house at night. So going up to go to the bathroom, I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, Chucky might be out there, you know.
But and it's funny because there's a lot of big scenes in this movie, but there's a lot of scenes like that. Like that are
Mhm.
just like chilling. Like you have a scene like that scene, and then another scene I always talk about that doesn't get enough attention is when Kyle's out on the swing set smoking the cigarette and
Mhm.
she picks the good guy down and she pulls it up. This is her finally realizing like what the fuck is going on. Like her
Yeah,
holy shit moment. And
yeah, it's all coming
that's
together.
yes, that's a big
Mhm.
part of this film is not just a horror movie, but the relationship between adopted parents and adopted siblings, with Andy and Kyle, Andy and the adopted parents, and how Andy's trying to adjust to a new environment. And I think that that's why this movie is so successful because of all the emotion that comes along with it. And with emotions, especially in a child's play movie, we're also going to have a lot of good kills. And this movie has some fantastic kills. One of my favorite in the whole franchise. But which kill was it that stuck with you the most?
Probably the and this is probably a lame one, but the guy in the car. So like Chucky's in the back seat. I always check my back seat,
Hmm.
just in case. I mean, I'm not looking for Chucky anymore, but I'm looking for, just in case. So that always freaked me out is that somebody was in the back seat. But and I do want to mention, like when I was a kid, I thought the teacher being killed with the ruler was so lame. I was like, how can you kill someone with a ruler? Now that I'm older, I'm like, oh my gosh, Chucky beat her to death with a ruler. So he had to take some time with her. So like now I'm just like, man, that's a legit kill right there.
Fucking vicious, dude.
Yes.
Like that is fucking vicious. Like you
Hmm.
said, imagine getting beat to death with just a tiny piece of wood. Like the
Hmm.
amount of impact and force and repetitive hits that had to go
Hmm.
into that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Um, and it's tied for my favorite kill in the whole franchise. But the factory technician that gets the eyeballs put into his at the end when
And
he
yeah.
falls on the conveyor belt, that scared me so bad as a kid, man. Like that scene of him with the
Uh-huh.
toy eyes, like dude, as a little boy, that ruined me. Like that
Dang.
stuck with me, man. Just
Hmm.
like the thought of the toys that I love to play with and seeing their eyes pushed inside another human being's skull.
Uh-huh.
Like that stuck with me, man, and it scared me so fucking bad.
That's all. Yeah, that's funny. And I honestly, yeah, I agree, man. I don't blame you at all for freaking out about that.
It was that one and John from part one. When you see him, the
Hmm.
voodoo doll,
His
like
legs
those
breaking.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, those ones were the ones that messed me up the most. And we know which scene it was that affected you the most from CP2. But what would you say your favorite scene from the film is?
I love the whole third act, like hit them at the factory. It just doesn't get better than that when it comes to a finale in a horror franchise. Like for some reason, like they just don't go balls out anymore like that in third acts, and I just wish they would.
The one thing I can say about all the Child's Play films, a lot of them have dynamite third acts.
Hmm.
They try to go really, really big in their third act, and it's something I really appreciate. And as a franchise, obviously, Chucky is still going. We got the Child's Play TV series now. But Child's Play 2 is your first. But what would you say your favorite in the Child's Play franchise is?
It's going to be Child's Play 2.
Is
Is
it?
my favorite. Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually a fan of all of them,
Mhm.
but 2 is my favorite.
And there's something to go with being your first. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like when you have that first moment, and everybody that knows me knows Child's Play is my favorite horror franchise, hands down, bar none. It's my favorite,
Hmm.
and I can see an argument for any movie in the franchise being someone's favorite. I can
Hmm.
completely get every argument, so I'm never like, "What? That's your favorite?" Because they're fucking
Yeah.
awesome, dude. Like they're all
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah.
Um, but and Child's Play did get the remake treatment, and it's something that I talk about a lot on here. Would you like to see your first horror movie remade? Now with
Hmm.
Child's Play 2, would you like to see a continuation of the Child's Play franchise that they did in 2019 with the Buddy franchise.
So I'm not against it, but if they never did it, I'd be okay as well, because I did like the remake, but it wasn't, as long as it doesn't step on the toes, because I know because of that remake, it kind of hurt a lot of things that were going to happen in the TV show. Like the TV show was going to be called Child's Play. And they're like, well, we can't confuse people now, this and that. So, if they made a second one, yeah, I'd be there opening night. But if they don't make one, I'm happy with my Brad Dourif Chucky.
Right. See, and I've said this a billion times, man. And people that know me know how I feel about this. If they would have just called that movie Buddy from the world of Child's Play, it could have made a huge difference in the like that movie even could have been way more successful. I'm pretty sure Don Mancini would have been a whole lot fucking happier. All the parties involved. Because even if that movie was super successful, they didn't own the rights to the name Child's Play 2. So they had to think of a way around that anyway. So throw yourself in a corner there, guys.
I know. And they couldn't use any kills that have been thought of or written in the previous movies. It was funny because when they announced a Child's Play remake, I was so against it. And then as it was being filmed, I kept looking it up every day. And I look it up every day. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm in love with this remake. Like all of a sudden I was like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. And then I'm like, look, what's going on here? And then I saw it and I liked it. And I was like, oh, that was really good. But it wasn't my Chucky. And I know they weren't trying to be my Chucky. So, I just wish they would have, like you said, they would have been, I feel like it would have done a little better. Or it did okay because of the Child's Play name, but I wish it would have been called something else,
Well, because I'm with you. Like when I first heard about it and I seen Don Mancini's reactions to it, I was like, no, I'm not fucking watching this. Like this has meant so much to me growing up. And Ashley and Kenny, my son, they went opening night to see it. And I was like, nope, I'm not going. Fuck that. Don Mancini, I was on that level. And then I finally did watch it. And I was like, man, this movie's so fucking good. Like the kills are great. Look, the doll looks stupid. I'll give you that. Like, I'll give you that. But if they would have had that same doll and even just named it something different and been like in the, you know what I mean? Like in the same universe with different names, I think that movie could have been a lot more successful than it was. People looked at it like, that's not my Chucky, and it's not supposed to be. If you go and watch the movie, you'll see they're not trying to be Charles Lee Ray. And that's why I love the movie so much. We already have Charles Lee Ray. You're not going to replace Brad Dourif as Charles Lee Ray. They knew that and they were smart. They're like, you know what? We're not going to touch that. Let's go in a different direction with it. And it worked for me, and I liked it a lot.
And the thing about it is, if they do a remake, it does nothing to the original. If anything, it gets people to watch the original,
Bingo.
And gives it more love,
I will never be anti-remake. Even the worst possible remake can get people to go back and watch the first one. So it can always bring some type of positive out of it. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
So, Cody, we know how horror started for you with Child's Play 2. Fantastic start. And what that movie means to you. But now, obviously, I want to throw my little curveball at you. My buddy Ghostface is here, and he has a question for you. What's your favorite scary movie, Cody? What is your favorite horror movie?
So, for sake of a conversation, it is Child's Play 2 is actually my favorite movie of all times. So, this is my go-to movie. So if I have 30 movies I need to watch and I can't decide which one I want to watch, Child's Play 2 goes in and I watch that. It's just I just automatically, or if it's raining outside, it reminds me of Child's Play 2. I'm going to put that in, So for sake of argument, I'm going to do Scream.
Okay.
Scream is my second favorite horror movie. So I love Scream. It was one of those movies where like I was kind of a latchkey kid, so I was just at home watching VHSs. I got to rent it because I begged my mom to rent it, and I remember watching it. And when they spoiler alert, when they revealed the killers at the end, I like my little brain was blown. I was just like, I was like 8 years old, but I was like just blown away. I was like, oh my goodness, like that is crazy. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, people can write movies. And that's after that, I was like, oh, if I was going to write a Scream movie, how would I write it? And that kind of got the wheels going and like, oh, I could probably do this too,
Well, and I think that we're so desensitized to Scream now because it's such a fucking cultural icon. We forget how fucking really crazy that twist was when we first watched it. When you get the Billy Loomis.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
No, Billy!
Fuck!
You're like, bro, you were stabbed. You were dead. How did you do that?
I know.
Like that whole moment, you're just like, no way did that just
Mhm.
happen? Holy crap. So I agree with you, man. That's one of those movies that, like, I feel the same way for that as like I do Saw and
Mhm.
Hereditary. Like, I wish I could go back and rewatch those for the first time again and
Yeah,
feel
man.
that feeling again. You know what I mean? Like,
It
not having any idea what I was getting into and just watching it for the first time again and feeling all those feelings. Like,
uh
oh, dude, I
Yeah,
that would be fucking awesome.
yeah, man. I saw in theaters opening night or that Halloween when it came out, man. In a packed theater, nobody knew what they were getting themselves into. When he stood up, everyone was just like, everyone, like it was a
Yeah,
cool moment that everyone was like experiencing at once. It was great.
I'm the same. Me, Marky, Britley. I remember the people I was with. I remember everything about it because
Mhm.
I remember we're all watching it and we're like, because we're all thinking it's Zepp. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, we're all like, okay, like that's the guy right there.
yeah,
And then you get that reveal, and you could literally feel the air suck out of that theater. Like,
uh-huh,
you're like,
yeah,
holy shit, that's fucking brilliant. Game over.
Game over.
One of the
yeah.
best endings, man. Like, so
Get
fucking good.
the music and it just gives you goosebumps. You're just like, oh my goodness.
Still my favorite score of all time. We just did our
Mhm.
top 10 horror scores, and Saw was my number one, man. It's
Man,
just,
it's a good
it's
score,
fucking
man.
fantastic, dude. And it's not
Mhm.
just the da da da. Like, it's not just Zepp's theme. The whole soundtrack or the whole score is just fucking phenomenal. So, um, as always, Cody, I want to thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with me and talking about your first horror movie and your favorite horror movie. But before I let you go, we always go back to the same question. We're going to bounce back to Child's Play 2, and what
Mhm.
we're going to do is rank it on a skull count. Now, we're not ranking it on acting, production, score, direction, nothing like that. What we're doing here, Cody, is strictly ranking Child's Play 2 on how much it affected you on your first viewing. So, 0 skulls being not effective, 5 being extremely effective. You can use half and quarter skulls anywhere in the middle. Cody, what would your ranking of Child's Play 2 be?
Oh, it would be 11 out of 5. No, so 5. Five skulls, man. That movie's still with me.
It's funny 'cause I'm laughing, and I'm not laughing because like it's funny. I'm just laughing because I know the answer.
Yeah,
I
I know
don't even
you.
have to ask.
I
Like,
yeah,
I
I was like,
know.
I have the poster up, so obviously it's affected me, or it's still with me.
Right. And that's why I was laughing, man, just because I know what the answer is going
I
to
know.
be, but it's in the script, so I got to ask.
Can you imagine? I was like, that's all right. Even though I just went through this whole interview saying it's my
Right.
favorite movie.
When it rains, it reminds me of it,
I
but
know.
it's 2.5.
Two and a half. I've seen better.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Going liar, liar. I've had
Yeah,
better.
yeah. I've had better.
Dude, funny enough, I just learned this recently and it blew my mind. I might have sent it to you. Jim Carrey in that movie when they're at the end and they're doing like the runway thing,
Oh, the
he's
Fire Marshal
doing,
Bill.
yeah, the fire
Yes,
marshal Bill in the
yes.
background.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I was literally at work like, shut the fuck up. Like, I
Mhm.
pulled it up on YouTube and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I saw that maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, "How have I never seen that? And how has
Yeah.
nobody else mentioned this?" Especially in this day and age, someone had to mention it or find it or something. So I feel like somebody just kind of noticed it, and nobody said anything about it, like on set or anything like that. And it was just
Yeah.
like Jim Carrey's best kept secret,
Yeah.
from
One
that
of those
set.
things where he was like, I'm going to put this right in your face and see if you notice.
And nobody did for the
No.
longest time.
Yeah, dude. When I did it, it was just one of those
Mhm.
like, holy shit, this
Yep.
is fucking great.
Yep. Yeah, and now you can't unsee it. Like that's the
No.
first thing you like that whole scene. Now I'm looking at Fire Marshal Ball going, like back there with the.
It's so funny 'cause it's such an emotional scene. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
You got him in the background, like that's so
I
fucking.
know
That's the brilliance
it's.
of Jim Carrey, man.
I agree with you 110%.
So I do want to again, Cody, say thank you so much, and for everybody that's watching, like I said at the top, if you haven't already, please make sure that you are following him on social media as well as subscribing to the YouTube channel. You don't have to go far; those links are all down in the description for you. And if you haven't already, make sure you're liking and subscribing. It really does help the channel more than you know. Cody, please don't go anywhere. I got a couple more questions for you. Everyone else, also, if you haven't already, follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. We'd love to have you along for the ride. And until next time, keep talking horror, stay what you are, and we'll see you guys soon.